Mike is muted. What's up, everybody, to the SCD podcast, where we talk about sports, entertainment, and drinks. Mostly sports, a little bit of entertainment, but mostly sports. This may be a quick episode. Depends on if the rest of the team shows up or not. But we're going to hold it down for right now. Um, in the meantime, it's good, everybody. Hope everybody had a great week. We've been off for the last 2 weeks. Like I said, we back in the swing of things. Last week we had a lot of things pop up at the last minute, but we're back, and we're gonna try to get back to our regular Wednesday schedules. Um, Seeing as how we had an actual game last night, we try to do our podcast on Wednesday evenings. What up, Zoe? Um, my boy Zoe. What up? What up? What up? Oh, hold on. We try to get our podcast done Wednesday evening, so we have the games predicted for Thursday night. Um, but we will get to that in a minute. In the meantime, we are going to start off with some college football, and mainly Coach Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. They are currently, I think, 3-0. There's been a lot of buzz since he's just left Jackson State and went to Colorado. You had a lot of people praising that fact that he was moving up in the coach rankings. You had people who did not like the fact that he left HBCU to go to Colorado. Thought he was chasing the money, but whatever the case may be, he has been entertainment that we've been looking for in college football in a long time, other than your main schools. He's definitely put an eye on the University of Colorado. I don't think many people will tune in unless you are a diehard fan or just love college football, especially since their games are just basically on the West Coast area, western part of the country, and the games come on late. Like this game this past Saturday night was a late game. Uh, but it was entertaining. It's been entertaining ever since he stepped on that campus. And Zoe, you watch him. This one takes him. I mean, he's got his two sons playing for him. He has one of the best. Well, he had one of the best two-way players in the game coming up. Uh, I say it had because he may be out for the foreseeable future with a horrible injury. But they're calling it a cheap shot. It basically was a play that didn't need to happen. He was already out of bounds, got hit, kind of awkward, lay down for a while. He didn't come back. But Colorado is on the move. They look good. They actually had a struggle game against Colorado State, the rival game. Maybe had the coach on the other side was talking, some things about Dion as he's probably used to hearing in this since he's been in the league ever since he stepped on the campus of Florida State as a college player. But the Colorado State coach was saying that he didn't like in so many words he was saying he didn't like the fact that Dion wore the shades and hats and all that stuff during the interviews. I mean, it was I didn't get it. I mean, it's time and place. I guess you wanted to shine some more light on the game, which was already going to be hyped up because Dion was coaching them. But ended up being a great game. I didn't make it to the end, but of course, I watched the highlights and with the overtime, and Colorado pulled it off. But they lost their star player, and they had two big games coming up. If I'm not mistaken, they have USC and I forgot the other game, but I think USC is definitely next, and it's a big game for them. To not have your best defensive player and one of your best targets for your quarterback, it's gonna be tough. So I'm gonna keep a lookout for that. But yeah, he's prime. His prime time is what we grew up knowing him as, and even in the University of Colorado. I mean, he's getting viewers to watch his games, good or bad, for the hate or for the love. So we'll check that out tomorrow. I think it's the evening. It has to be a night game because it's a West Coast game. So it'd be very interesting. Um, On to the other college football teams, mostly Alabama. Bama, that was a tough. They had a tough stretch, and I think I haven't seen them. Why guys can let me know if I'm wrong or not, but I haven't seen where a Bama team is struggling to look for a quarterback. They may not have always had top tier quarterbacks, but they always knew who their guy was. And for them to be switching out quarterbacks, granted, they're not playing great teams right now, but they're struggling offensively. And for them not to have a quarterback going in, steady quarterback, um, being changed out without injury is tough. And I've talked to some guys, and I think a lot of it comes from just the transfer portals are getting tougher because these kids are going anywhere they want to, and the NIL deals where these players are getting paid now. So I think we're starting to see even shift when it comes to college football, mostly Alabama's, the LSU's. You've seen it for even schools like Michigan. You've seen these schools get these players going basically anywhere. You're seeing top tier players going to lesser name schools. You might see a shift in Colorado. Just speaking to them a second ago, you will start to see things of that nature. I think it's interesting to see these teams being even out because you don't have to worry about the Bama's. Georgia's going to be tough. Georgia's going to be tough. They're a powerhouse right now. I can't imagine them not even being in a championship game at this point. But yeah, I love an even playing field. I love when you don't know who's going to be that team or who's going to be that standout team, especially the has as dominant as the SEC has been. So yeah, so it's gonna be an interesting couple of weeks as I pull up ESPN to get these NFL games going because that's our next topic. Um, so yeah, last night we had a game between the 49ers and the Giants, and woof, that was a stinker. The Giants, I don't know what to say about them. You pay Danny Dimes. Saquon's out again. You know, breaking news. He didn't play. Um, but I mean, I think the Giants are taking a giant step back. I mean, I don't know if last year was just the fact that Saquon was healthy. He carried them to the playoffs, and Daniel Jones just not had to mess the game up. Now you throw the ball, get the ball to Daniel Jones, and he has to carry you, which is tough. You don't see those big weapons that you usually see. And they got Waller, but I think Waller didn't get a catch after halftime against this dominant 49ers team. And speaking of the 49ers who won the game 30-12, which pushed them at 3-0. At 3-0. They look good. I can't see I can't see a team beating them early in the playoffs. I can see them getting to the NFC Championship game. I can't see. Um, I'm trying off the top of my head. I mean, we go talk about Dallas and that big blow they took, but they got weapons, man. With Debo Samuel, I don't know, Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, um, and then you see Ronnie Bell, the Michigan rookie. He was big in the offense last night. So they have weapons with that Shanahan offense, man. They look good. They look like world beaters, man. And that defense is, just as good as it was last year. So I think they'd be very, 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 very tough opponent in the NFC. Giants. If you're a Giants fan, I mean, you're 1-2 going into week 4. I mean, it's not over, but you got Washington who looks I think in my opinion looks pretty good. 2-0 between they with their second year first their second I think it's rookie with their first year starter at quarterback. They look good. So Giants got a lot of work to do. So last time we talked was right before week 1, and since then a lot of things have changed as far as injuries, and we'll get to injuries in a little bit. But um, what did the Jets do? It's a question I was going to ask the guys because they're in a tough, 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 tough predicament. You lose Aaron Rodgers in the first series of week 1, but you win. That defense steps up, we're dominant. I mean, they're every bit of what we thought they were going to be. All Luke Wilson had to do was not lose the game. Um, and they didn't. They won week 1. They looked great. And you were thinking, hey, maybe just maybe Luke can hold it down until this past Sunday where he looked bad. Now, granted, he's playing against a great defensive team with the Cowboys. Um, but sheesh. I mean, I thought they had enough weapons. Brees Hall only got 4 touches. He's tweeting about it. You had a frustrated a frustrated Sauce Gardner. He deleted his Twitter about after going back and forth with fans. It was just a bad look all around for the Jets. They got punched in the mouth from a very good Dallas team and just couldn't recover. It was 30-10. Let's see. We can talk about Zach. I call Luke Wilkins. Was Zach Wilson's numbers: 12 for 17, 170, one touchdown, three picks. You can't the turnovers. You can't turn the ball over, especially against a team like Dallas. Um, yeah, and coincidentally, Zach was the leading rusher on the team that game, 36 yards on 5 carries, which brings me to my next point. Between two good to great running backs, Dalvin Cook and Brees Hall had a combined total carries of 8 with a whopping 16 yards. That can't happen. You can't have these two good running backs with the Michael Carter. Uh, too, you have a good backfield. I think there's no way those two combined should only have 8 carries. I think I, I, it's hard to say what happened when because at halftime it was close. It was 10 to 18 at halftime. So it wasn't like they were in panic mode. But I mean 12 for 17, 170. I mean, you're doing a lot of dick and dunking. I guess they didn't want to throw the ball downfield to protect this guy. But and it's tough to throw the ball when we have one of the best players of the game in the game right now on the opposite side of the field, staring you down every play, and Michael Parsons. Um, shoot, we're gonna get to him in a minute. But yeah, so what did Jets do? Do you keep rolling? Do you give Zach another chance? Do you bring somebody in? And then who? Who do you bring in? I don't know what the Jets' money is looking like. I don't know who could possibly. It's not like a running back where Cleveland loses their guy, but yeah, Kareem Hunt, call him, bring him in, boom, they're good. Kareem Hunt is a good running back, which I don't understand why he wasn't signed to begin. And maybe it was God's plan because he's on the team already. But yeah, what do you do? It's quarterback. You can't just plug anybody there and say go. So I don't even know who. I can't begin to think about who they do. I mean, there's no recently retired quarterbacks to go and sign, in my opinion. I mean, that defense is too good to, just give up. So I mean, they're 1-1 going to this game this Sunday. This is a big game for Zach. Zach, he can't throw those picks against that team. And I think it only gets tough for him. I mean, they play the Patriots who are struggling themselves on 3, but Belichick, he needs to win too because there are people looking at him sideways and Mac Jones. So, what the Jets do, I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is a question I was going to ask the fellas, man, because I'm stumped. I don't know. Do you trade? Do you go get a guy like Bridgewater? Do you go get a guy just to hold it down, to keep the ship afloat while your defense does its thing? I mean, because you have two of the best defenders on the team. So you got a good rookie, some good players. You got that defense, man. And it just broke down against Dallas. And Dallas didn't score. They got 30 points, but they didn't score a lot of touchdowns. They defense did the score of the game doesn't portray what really happened. It was 30-10. Yes. Dallas kicked a lot of field goals, left a lot of points. I don't know if that's the defense of the Jets or what do we say about Dallas's offense in that point? 30 points is 30 points. Doesn't matter. 30-10, blowout, game over. I don't know if they got conservative knowing that Zach, he called him Luke. I don't know if they was playing conservative to playing down to Zach knowing that he couldn't throw the ball down. So I don't know, bro. I really am interested in seeing how they can right the ship, but they didn't do something. That defense is too good to waste the season. You can't waste the season on that much talent, and that's what it seems to be happening. So we go from one AFC team to another. Hold on one second. Um, yeah, we're gonna talk about the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are 0-2, and they I don't know what to say about them. They are always an interesting team. What confused me about the Bengals is you got one of the best young quarterbacks in the game. Easily top 5 to top 10 easily. You have easily the top 3 receiver in the game. And knowing this offseason, you needed help. They need protection. The biggest thing of the Bengals is protection. If you can't protect the quarterback, which seems to be, and I don't think that Joe Burrow has completely healed from this injury. So I think, from my understanding, he's questionable to play if he plays Sunday with that calf. And they didn't look great. I know they lost. They're on to going into week 3, and we don't know for sure what's going to happen uh, with Joe Burrow, which is sad because that offense is actually good, but that defense is bad too. So with the Bengals going against the Rams this Sunday home game, we don't know. As I'm looking at the schedule and looking at the preview of the game, they don't know either. But on the other hand, they're going against a 1-1 mediocre Rams, Los Angeles Rams. Um, if Joe plays for sure, they should handle handle the Rams. But we don't know because let's see the last game the Bengals played this past week. It was against the Ravens. The Ravens, who are 2-0. Shout out to Lamar Jackson coming back, look like he hasn't missed a beat, but they lose 27-24, and Burrow's numbers are as follows. He was 27 for 41 passes, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, and pick. Joe Mixon 13 carries, 59 yards. I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Bengals. There's always something. Either the offensive line now look like it's the defense. What did Lamar do? Lamar was 24 for 33, 237 yards, 2 picks, no interceptions, with 54 yards rushing. Um, Nelson Aguilar was the leading receiver for the Ravens, and that's a name right there. So if you guys give me 1 second, I think I might have somebody joining me. Let me see if I can get him in here real quick. Um, Look like it's going to be the homie Zoe. So if I can put this in, we're doing this live. Sorry for this. 84. So hopefully he'll jump in and help your brother out as we continue this Friday podcast. All right, sending it out. So hopefully he can jump in. But yeah, all right, bet. Oh, they got the homie Trill jumped in. All right, bet. But yeah, I don't
What's going
know
on, man?
what's going on, man. Just talking about the Bengals, man, and the whew, 0-2. Looks like they're up in the air about Joe Burrow playing, which can be detrimental to them already. Already going on to they lost to I think the homie Zoe. Zoe jumped in, man. What's up, Zoe?
What's going on here?
What's
Hey,
going
what's
on?
going
What's
on,
going on?
bro?
I was just talking about the Bengals, man. Just talking about the trouble they
Ooh,
might be
man.
in. Um,
They looking they looking off. Something look off about them. I don't know
well,
if
I
it's the
mean,
play if Joe Burrow's injury is coming into play too much. I don't know if it's the running game not getting activated like it should be getting. They definitely look a little bit off, man. What's your take on that?
I mean, when it comes down to it, the Bengals always start off slow. I don't think they worried, honestly. I think Joe Burrow will catch rhythm, and I think they'll get it together eventually. I think when it's all said and done, they'll be one of the top teams in the AFC, so they'll be all right.
well, I mean, yeah, I mean, 41 passes he threw, and you can see towards the end of the game he was kind of grabbing that calf again, and
Yeah.
I mean, as tough as that division might be, can they afford for him to be out and win the game? I mean, if they lose the game on 3, like you said, it's still early, but that division is always pretty close. I'm not worried about the I'm not worried about the Steelers too much. But we seen Lamar Jackson come back having an impact on that team. They're 2-0.
Facts.
Mm,
He looked good. 250 something passing yards, no picks, 54. So um, I think they might be in trouble. If he doesn't play this game, I don't. It's too early to say 3-0 is over with, but it's tough. It's a tough hole to dig
mm.
out. Why I
That's
have
facts.
both of you guys here? I'm gonna backpedal because I was talking about the Jets and what they
Ooh,
do now. We've seen what happened with this past Sunday with the Cowboys.
ooh.
That was a tough task to ask anybody. I mean, to do.
Mm,
But the backup quarterback in Dallas's defense is playing lights out.
ooh.
Offense, like I said, 30 points is 30 points. They didn't score. I mean, if you look at the score of the game and the results, 30 to 10 is big. A lot of field goals. So I don't know if they dumbed it down a little bit because they knew Zach Wilson couldn't get past the 50-yard line. Or, it's just, it's testament of the Jets defense doing as much as they can, knowing it was on the field that much. So with all that, what do? They keep Luke. I mean, they keep calling him Luke. They keep Zach. I don't know who else is out there. Maybe we find Luke Wilson.
I think they need to go ahead and ride it out with Zach Wilson. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you look back at it a couple years ago, he was their first round pick. So I think they need to go ahead and stick it out. I mean, he's familiar with the team. He's familiar with the other players on the team. I don't think it'll be worth going and getting another quarterback right now
Yeah,
at this point. And then looking back on the game with us against Dallas, I mean, he didn't play that bad to me. I mean, they're
yeah,
supposed to be one of the top teams in defense. They couldn't stop nobody.
yeah,
CD Lamb went off. That's not on Zach Wilson.
yeah.
You got Delvin Cook fumbling the ball. I mean, that's not on Zach Wilson. So I mean, they got to. I mean, as a whole team, they got to get it together. It's just not on Zach
Yeah.
Wilson. So
And to piggyback off what he was saying, the team was geared towards Aaron Rodgers. That was the biggest thing. Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers, his play style, the way that he likes to play, everything pretty much geared towards exactly what he wanted. When you take him out of the equation, now you're playing with, oh shit. So you're kind of stuck in a position where you weren't expecting to go with Zach Wilson. His skill set is
right,
completely different from Aaron Rodgers. So on offense, man, you're talking about throwing Dalvin Cook in at the last moment. They're riding him a little bit more than I thought they would at this point. And I think they should go ahead and turn it to Brees and let them just run down their throats. But they're sitting here trying to do play action, kind of get a little cute with a defense like Dallas. Can't do that. Can't do that.
right.
You got Micah just playing with people. You see that cross? Dog, man.
Oh man, I'm so glad you brought that up. That was hilarious. When I saw the
Dog,
replay, I'm like, at this point, he knows he's dominant. He know he
no,
has this offensive line doing whatever he wants to do. So when you're doing these crossover gestures before the game, I'm not mad at it. I love it.
no,
I
no.
love I love his spirit. I love the way he play. I
Oh,
don't know.
I love his explosion, man. Let me be a
Yeah,
Dallas fanboy for a quick second, man. And this won't happen a lot. But when I see Micah Parsons, his takeoff, getting around the edge is unparalleled. There's nobody in the league that has his takeoff when it comes to getting around the league. Like Miles Garrett he's great overall. He's physically strong. He got speed. He got power.
Yeah,
He got technique. But when it comes to that explosion towards that quarterback or a play in the backfield, period, that man is unrivaled right now. I have
yeah,
to give it to him.
they showed the end zone angle for one of those sacks, and he just popped up out of nowhere. It was like, all right, here's a block, and then here's an 11 with a sack. I'm like, where did he come from? I had to slow
Where
it
did he
down.
come from? Yeah,
Where did he come
man,
from?
that
nasty,
boy is
dog.
a
That man,
problem, man. That boy is a
So
nasty.
problem.
that's a tall task to ask Zach to do. You go against the Cowboys. They hearing the talk about can they beat this team? Can they do this? And it's week 2, they're backing it up. You can't deny it. 30-10 is 30-10.
I gotta
I
give it to
haven't
him.
heard complaint. I haven't heard no complaints about Dak so far. It's early. And then CD Lamb, boy, whew, boy, Sauce had it. Sauce had a day. Sauce had a day, and hey, sometimes you just get beat, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And when you get to
Mhm.
argue with fans and all that, deleting Twitter, I think that's just something with him.
It's
He
in
gonna
your
grow up.
head.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
I
Yeah,
don't.
young boy.
Yeah, when you this guy and you get beat by a better guy, I mean, your ego gets in the way, man. And it be okay. Um, so let's switch it over to we got a lot of couple, about a handful, maybe a little more than a handful, rookie quarterbacks and starting quarterbacks who may not be rookie. You
Mm,
got Jordan Love,
Wow.
you know,
Anthony
C.J.
Richardson.
Stroud, Bryce Young, who's not playing week 3, so he's out already.
Yep, he might
Um,
be out week 3 and 4 with that
yeah, week
ankle.
3 and 4. So, what do you guys take on some of these first year? I mean, the guy in Washington, I don't even know his name. They're 2-0.
Sam Howell.
Yeah, how? Yeah. So what do you guys take on this overall first year quarterbacks and rookie quarterbacks?
Um, CJ played decent last week. It looked like he's starting to get used to the game speed. I think that's going to continue to have, I think that he's going to continue to be a little bit better. I kind of like what I'm saying from Anthony Richardson. I think he's been a little banged up. But when he's out there, he's making plays. You know what I'm saying? The
You gotta
offense is
learn to
moving a little
slide.
bit.
Yeah, get
But
down.
yeah, I've been impressed with CJ probably the most right now. Who else is out there? I ain't really too hot on Sam Howell, not yet. I mean, of
Yeah,
course, he's a commander. He's in our division, so I ain't worried about him. But for me, CJ, I think CJ's gonna keep developing. I think he's gonna do his thing out there in Houston.
yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
gotta look at it. Oh, go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying C.J. Stroud. He's been impressive. He hasn't had weapons. He's what, second in the league right now. If you can pull that up, I think in yardage or third.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
You
Definitely
know,
top
you
five.
know, and you're talking about a top five QB with no weapons, none. They
No,
got Pierce, the running back. Is he playing right now? I think he's hurt, or is he playing?
I think he's playing. I think he
Yeah,
Oh,
I
played.
he's
think
playing. Okay,
he's been
okay.
in and out of the lineup.
Yeah. So but you got Nico Collins as his number one. You know what I'm saying? Nico Collins from U of M a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Physically decent, guy, pretty good overall attributes. But you're talking about he has no weapons, none. But yet he still has a high completion rating. He has good yardage per attempt, and he's
Yeah,
making sound decisions with that football. So I think out of everybody, he's my number one. My number two would be Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, he's been using his athletic traits to the best of his abilities. He's each week his decision making is getting better. He has to learn to slide though.
Yeah.
He's a big
that's
QB
true.
with good speed. He has to learn to slide. So that's my take, man. That's top two right there. Bryce
I,
Young, he was on that guard trying to get what I'm saying?
I mean, I would agree. I mean, shockingly to me is like you said, Stroud again. I'd agree with that. I thought he would, like I said, it's early, it's 2 games, but his poise, like he knows the offensive line is bad. The offensive line is atrocious. He's already the league getting sacked the most in the league right now.
Yeah,
But he's still making those passes. He's still, like you said, Nico Collins being a number one. No disrespect to Nico, but
Hmm.
he's your number one. I think last year number one was Cooks, and then he's in Dallas now, right? If I'm not
Yeah.
yeah,
mistaken. You lose that. I like him. I like what he's doing. I like the overall talent of these first year quarterbacks, first starting quarterbacks. Jordan Love, what they do after Aaron Rodgers leave. He's holding it down. He's doing it. He's doing. I think they're 1-1. If I'm not mistaken, I think they lost to the Falcons.
Falcons. Yeah,
Yeah, lost to
Hmm.
the Falcons, who has another young quarterback. But they had a phenomenal running back, Bijan. I mean that guy's gonna be
Ward
special,
probably too.
and we see them Sunday. We got the Falcons this Sunday.
Oh,
Uh,
Bijan, man.
yeah,
Bijan Mustard. Yeah, he's gonna be nasty.
uh, yeah. I'm impressed overall. I'm impressed with these guys. It's still early. Um, Glad you popped in, Zoe. Because we're gonna talk about these Lions and what happened this past
Oh,
weekend. Um, what happened? I mean, you see the Seahawks go down, and the term any given Sunday. We see the Seahawks lose, I think 30 something to 10 last week. I'm thinking in my head, oh yeah, with our offense, I'm not worried about it. I thought our defense was better than what they played Sunday. What's your take on just
they got in their own head.
okay?
They got in their own head. And when you get in your own head, you get too confident, too cocky. It's a difference between being confident and cocky. Arrogant and just understanding your skill level. You know, those guys got into it, and of course, right that energy, right that power, that whole flow. But what they did was they lost contain. They lost their ability to sit here and run the defense the way that it was supposed to be meant. I watched the All 22 film on it because I just like the Lions like that. And
Mhm.
Jerry Jacobs, our Brian Branch, who we love, they continuously, in of course our other safety, Kirby Joseph, they got lost in the sauce back there. They kept on bringing in other substitutions to keep us guessing. Kept on bringing them in, kept on bringing them in. Boom, 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 different route combinations, and you could see them pointing constantly. They didn't know we were at home, and our
Yeah.
team didn't know which defense we were in. Hey, over there, over there, oh crap, over there, and you can see it the whole game. So they continuously got outcoached by Pete Carroll, and at the same time they lost their defensive assignments. I mean, the whole game.
Is that a testament to how young our defense is? I think we have, three rookie starters with the linebacker. Campbell, we
Mm.
have Branch, like you said, and then CJ goes down, so we out with one of our veteran captain defensive players. So is that just a testament? Just like you said, our coach number one, but just being not prepared for.
I think it's
Yes,
more
I mean, a lot of
so.
people get beat. They'll get beat on the same kind of plays. Like
Yeah,
Lockett scored on the same route.
on the same play. Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what it comes to coaching.
that's tough.
When it came to the way that we ran our defense in certain formations, you could see who was going to be open right there.
Yeah,
You could see that it was a lot of mismatches, and they would play on that. And instead of us adapting, we stayed true to what we were doing. Good defenses, they see that you go into an audible and you change things up. What do they do? They audible to sit here and they align the correct way so that they can make sure that if you are going to get some yardage, you're only going to get minimum yardage. They stay the same. It was so many mismatches, so many open receivers on open releases. If you watch the all 22 of that game, open releases all day. They did
yeah.
not press. They didn't sit here in contact. It was nothing. They didn't pick open releases. You give Lockett open release,
With that speed,
yeah.
he's just doing slant, two
You know
slant
what I'm
slants.
saying? Yeah. That is so simple, and that's one of the things that I saw. What did you see, man? What caught your eye, bro?
I don't. I mean, I guess the fact that we kept in the game. I know we can. I know we can score points.
Hmm.
I'm not worried about us scoring points. I know we can do that. It's just goes back to the defense, like you said. You put it perfectly. Just being out man and being out, not out man, but out coached in certain situations. There's no
Hmm.
way we get them in overtime. They drive the ball down, and the same play they scored earlier. And most teams, all right, we know what that look coming. We know what Lockett is his best feature is speed. There's no way we
Hmm.
should be a step behind him on that play. But nobody dropping back, at least dropping back, knowing, oh shoot, let me drop back. No, it's just that was my biggest takeaway. It's just the
No
points we
free
get.
releases that close. You get that
Yeah.
close, no, you're not getting a free release. I don't care. We could shade some to
Actually,
DJ. What up, though, Ash? You can shade some to DJ. You sit here, jam him. He's gonna outmaneuver that. Play into that. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna physically try to dominate whoever is, checking him. Play into that. Make him become overconfident. When you got Lockett's not a physical receiver like that. He's
no.
always been
Yeah,
based off quickness and speed. Jam him at the line. You give him a free release, and then you want Branch, who, yes, he got a little bit of speed. He's not keeping up with him laterally in a
No.
trail position. No,
Oh,
no, no.
yeah,
It's
he's
not
already
about that.
trailing. He's
He's
already
already trailing. You know what I'm
Gino's
saying?
capable to make that pass.
You said what now?
I said Gino is capable enough to
Oh
make that
yeah,
pass.
yeah.
I see
That's
that.
it. That style of offense is perfect for him. It's definitely
Yeah.
perfect for him. A nice couple
definitely
of shots
cool.
down, a mid to its mid range type offense. Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect. West Coast.
Anything on the Lions for you, Trey, before we move to your Cowboys?
Man, I was just like I was telling a couple of my like my son, he's a Detroit Lion fan. I don't know how, but
Yeah, that's
me and him was talking about the game, and I was just letting him know, like at the end of the day, Seattle's a playoff team, and for you guys to be, in a dogfight with them shows that this team is growing at the end of the day, and that's all you can ask for. You know what I'm saying? So I think y'all gonna be okay. I think Jared Goff just needs to, not turn the ball over in certain situations, but other than that, man, I think y'all gonna be okay, man. I think y'all boys gonna be pretty good. So.
Can I give one more interjection?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. They need to figure out how to let Jamar Gibbs run. They keep
Mm,
it's the same formation. Like I this we had the same issue with the previous regime. I know when they're about to run that type of play off rip. You know what I'm saying? And so if I know it, as just an average person who used to play football back in the day, these people are
yeah,
professionals. They get paid millions of dollars to do this. They know it too. So of
You know, it's
course he's
funny.
not. Go ahead.
It's funny. Week one, Nucho was saying that. Nucho was saying that we was watching the games Sunday. He said, "Why are they running Gibbs like that? He shouldn't. That's not his style to run. Number one, I think he's too fast to do some of these the formations they have him in.
Hmm.
Utilize that speed. That's why we have Montgomery and Gibbs for.
Hmm.
Utilize it. You know, we go this style where we know they know we're coming up the middle. There's no
Yeah,
change. There's no audible. That's been our, like you said. That's been our regime for years. No matter what coach come through there, it's like, all
hmm,
right, I know they know what we gonna do, but we're
he's gonna
better. We're
do
gonna
it anyway.
audible, change up something.
Yeah,
That's
a little
that
bit,
is
a little bit of motion, and if they do the same motion, they use that slot receiver to come across, whether it's a slot receiver or a tight end, and they either gonna do one thing. They either gonna sit here and go over the tight end over on the outside, or right above him is gonna be St. Brown, or they're gonna run it right over there to the fucking left side, right behind the left guard and the tackle. It's three different formations, and those are easy because it's nothing down the field. They're right there in the mid area. Just bring your safeties up. Linebackers, boom, you already know what's up. Contain, contain.
uh,
So that's all I wanted to put in there.
well, to one team still trying to figure out to a team who seems to be locked in playoff mode early
I gotta
on.
give them, they clap. You know what I be
I don't know
talking
what
crap about
I don't know what more you can add on.
still early, but
I
we
don't
looking
know
good right now.
what more you can add
Looking
on
good.
that's already been said about your Cowboys, but they look good. I mean, it's 2 weeks in. Granted, early who y'all play Sunday? Y'all got
The Cardinals.
them.
It's
I
gonna be
mean,
a route.
you can't take no game for granted. That we
Yeah,
all smiled when we said that. But I mean, goodness. I mean, it hurts to lose Trayvon dead. That was unfortunate. Big
Yeah.
loss. That's that side of the ball. But I think that front seven, namely, mainly number 11. If he can be that dominant, I don't think. I mean, it shouldn't matter too much who you have a corner because he's such a disruptor. But I'll let you take it away, man. What are you seeing from your team 2 weeks in? 2-0.
I'm loving it so far. I love the fact that our defense is being dominant. The offense does not have to do too much. I love it. I'm gonna be honest. I've been calling this. I've been saying that we was gonna have one of the top defenses in all of the NFL. I've been saying it. Um, the Diggs injury will hurt. But like I said, we so dominant up front. We got all those pass rushes. I don't think it'll hurt that much. I think we'll be good. We got depth. We still got the run Bland. We just got Jordan Lewis back.
Yeah.
I think what they're gonna pretty much do, they're gonna put Bland on the outside and have Jordan Lewis back in the slot, in his regular position. So I think it'll be. I think we're gonna still be good. I think the defense is still gonna dominate. I think Mike McCarthy's still gonna call plays to protect Dak and just let the offense just what I'm saying. They not we got the team to make big plays, but we don't have to make those plays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We go out there, let the offense just pit and pat, let the defense rest up, and then when it's time for the defense to go out there, they just go out there and dominate. So I think this defense is gonna lead us to possibly the NFC Championship game.
Mm.
But it's gonna fall on Dak at the end of the day, and we just gotta wait and see what happens. But so far it's looking good, man. We got the Cardinals this week. I think they got Dobbs out there as their quarterback right now. So
Yeah.
hey, you better be ready because they gonna mess that boy up, man.
I just
Yeah,
what your
we
boy Dak used to
looking
do.
good, man. We looking good.
I'm talking about
Oh
Zeke.
yeah, Zeke, not that
Mm.
Zeke.
Let me ask you this. I talked about it a little bit earlier. We talked about it. 30 points. Are you worried about the amount of field goals y'all getting inside the field rather than the touchdowns? Or are you okay knowing that you won 30 to 10? We got the victory. We're healthy. We didn't Dak that do too much.
That was my only issue.
Okay.
Being 2 for 6 in the red zone, we got to clean that up.
Yeah.
Uh, I think the play calling in the red zone. I think we try to get too cute sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Use that offensive line, man. Let Pollard go, do his thing. We got Rico Dowdle back there backing up Tony Pollard. Just punch it in. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get too cute. We running reverses with tight ends and shit like that. Like, no, just go get the touchdown, man. But other than that, man, we clean up that red zone offense, man. Hey, we looking good, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish they
That
would
nigga
use Michael
smile.
God
Gallup
dang, I
more
hate
as
to
a
even
red
admit
zone
that.
threat.
Gallup.
Michael Gallup hasn't really been effective this year, but that's somebody we should be going to in that red zone. They're not doing that, so I hope we clean that up, man. And I hope what I'm saying, with us playing Arizona, I feel like it's gonna be a route. I feel like we're gonna mess them up, but that'll be a time where we can try to fix those red zone walls. So we'll see what happens.
And shout out to the boy Luke Schoolmaker, Shoemaker. I remember draft
Michigan
night.
boy.
We remember draft night. I forgot who it was. It was like, oh, we got, hey, man. He's a red zone kind of guy. You're gonna like him.
He
Yeah,
Uh,
really is.
scored his first touchdown, by the
yeah,
way.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So shout out to the homie. It's good to have you on here, though, because this next topic you could probably talk about and injuries, man. First 2 weeks have been devastating injuries. Some of them were freak accidents, like Nick Chubb incident.
Man.
They saying Minka that was a dirty hit by him. He says he saw the hole. He went to go make a tackle. He went to make a play. I, I
You diving down in somebody's knees. No, that's no. That was he. It was knee. He just went to die. No, sorry.
that's
That
how
kind of
most
pissed me off. Go ahead.
that's how most of the cornerbacks and safeties tackle. That's why I hate. I mean, I granted they protect themselves. They know they can't try to tackle a guy like Chubb, head up him, Tennessee, Derrick Henry,
Yeah,
those kind of guys.
Yeah.
So I mean, but other than that, being a freak accident, Aaron Rodgers is a freak accident. But
boom, cute.
would how do you look at it as a guy who's into physical training and physical fitness? I mean, is it? I don't know. It's been a lot of key
Yeah,
injuries.
it's been a lot, and most of the time I think it comes down to a lot of these, especially these ankles and these Achilles knees. It comes down to I think it's the turf, man. I
Mm,
think it's the turf.
Mm.
They practicing on turf. Turf doesn't give. We all been on turf.
yeah,
When you're running with the cleats and you plant and you turn, it doesn't give like the regular ground does. It kind of holds you. And over a
Mm-hmm.
period of time, no matter how much you stretch, how much you work on these muscles, when your body is going here and then starts to go this way, that wears and tears in the joints. That whole push that they're doing to get rid of turf, I believe that has something to do with maybe 70% of all
I
knees and
agree.
ankles.
wow.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I would say that at the very least, man. At the very least. So I think that has
Nah,
something to
you
do.
you 100% right on that, man. Like, you talk to a lot of these cats that's in the league right now, they prefer to play on that grass, man. That turf is no
Mhm.
good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I used to play football back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
High school. I used to hate playing on turf, man. Like, you can feel it. Like, it just
Yeah.
wasn't. It was not good to play on. Like, it's just not good at all. But yeah, like you said, though, man, they gonna have to do something, man. They just gonna have to put together a plan to where they get these grass stadiums together, man, because the turf is not gonna do it, man. The proof is in the pudding. Like, with these injuries, like, just stacking up, it's because of the turf. Like, that turf
Yeah.
is no good, man. It's no
I
good.
mean, you getting star players who the whole season everybody's anticipating watching Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in the first series. He's out. He's done for the year.
Four
Uh,
snaps in, bro.
yeah.
That's
Um,
tough.
so I mean, you see it all weekend, man. It's like after every series or after every quarter, somebody getting them slow and not returning.
Hmm.
But then you gotta have guys like you said. Both of you guys said guys like Anthony Richardson. Learn how to slide, man. You're 6'5". I understand you used to running people over in high school. Some college teams you did it, man. You gotta get down, man. It's gonna be an
Hmm.
RG3 all over again. Get down. Um, but yeah, it's been and it's funny, Zoe. I don't know if you played the new Madden yet. The injuries on Madden, and we complain, we turn it
Hmm.
down. The injuries on Madden are out of control.
Hmm.
And I'm like, well, maybe Madden, we all like, well, maybe it's Madden is on or something because it's like it's looking like that in real life. I mean, the injuries are crazy on there.
Yeah,
But yeah, man, it's sad because you see them, guys from our teams and other good teams are losing players, and you know, they human too. They work all summer, work hard and train again. We see the hard knocks. We seen, what they prepare for. This, you know, going like that. But
yeah.
that's a good insight, that turf thing. But both of y'all. We got 10 minutes. Okay, we good. We good. I want to talk about another player, Justin Fields. Man, how much time does he have left? And we debated, though, we have a big debate in our chat about Justin Fields, man. I think he's a good athlete. And Nujo said his awareness is probably a 5 out of 100. And I hate that. I didn't want to agree. Well, you see, and I hate when people put up clips because they always show the bad, they never show the good, because they try to make their point. But the
Mm.
Bears have a point differential of negative 27, second worst in the league. I don't see it getting better.
Whew. Yeah, I don't see it
He,
better either.
if you think about it, Justin Fields hasn't had, like, in my opinion, a good coach, and I
Okay.
feel like that's kind of what's holding him back. I mean, if you look at the Bears organization as a whole, like, they just they're a shithole at the end of the day. And I hate to say it that way, but it is what it is. And I feel like with a quarterback like Justin Fields, man, you got to put the right, quarterback, or excuse me, not quarterback, but you got to put like the right coaches around him. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he needs like an actual, like a quarterback coach that's been in the league, that's been around, that knows, what they're doing. And I feel like he needs a head coach that can actually unlock his potential. He hasn't had that yet. And
dude.
then
Yeah,
and then you go out there, and he goes out there struggling, and they're asking him after the game like, what's going on, and he pretty much said, hey, it's the coaching. Like,
yeah.
you're not supposed to say that as
You're
a
not.
player, but somebody got to say it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I feel like if he gets the right coaches around him, a coach that can really unlock that potential, I think we'll eventually see a better Justin Fields. But I don't think we're going to see it in Chicago. I think at the end of this year, I feel like they might try to explore trading him potentially. But I think this is the last year in Chicago.
Hmm.
but I agree with you, and I'm at the point where I believe that they got a couple of issues. One, they are not gearing their system towards him.
Hmm.
And when you have a quarterback who has their downs, their ups, and is still trying to figure it out, you got to gear your whole system towards that QB. He has every piece of talent and athleticism that you want in a QB. He got the arm,
Yeah.
he has the speed, he has everything that you want. The problem is, like you said, awareness is 5. So with that being said, what you have to do to get his awareness up, what we all have to do, take it one step at a time. So you build it up by doing simple things. You make the offense simple yet effective so that you can take advantage of his gifts, and then once that confidence starts going up, he's going down the field. If you
Yeah.
remember, he threw for the most yards he's ever thrown for without any talent around him, right?
Yep.
And it was because of the fact that he was believing in himself. And he was sitting here, he was just letting that boy go. So if you see that's the type of QB he has, if you see that's the type of mentality he has, and everybody's different, you know what I'm saying, in the league, just as a person to person, you have to gear your system towards that QB. I would sit here and literally short to intermediate routes will be his specialty. And then I'll go play action. Yeah, play action a couple times down to Mooney or whomever. And then you get him to build it up. And then he's going to get excited. And what happens when you get excited? Now he's studying more. Now he's buying into the system. Make him buy into the system by giving him the system that fits him. That's how I look at
Hmm.
Yeah,
That is.
you're exactly right, and I like to use Dak Prescott, perfect example. That's kind of how they did it with Dak. When when he took over for Romo, everything was simple. You know what I'm saying? Short. You know what I'm saying? Just medium routes, and then eventually, you know what I'm saying, you unlock that potential, and you build that confidence in that quarterback. Then you know what I'm saying, you can go ahead and go to the to the, go deep or do what you need to do to get
it.
down the field, and that's why credit to the Cowboys. The front office, like they was really on that, and again, Justin Fields does not have that, and that's why we're seeing him struggle.
Yep,
Man, I
totally
agree with
agree.
both of you guys. I also believe in getting the rhythm early. I don't care. I don't. You can throw 5 screens to start the series up. Get your quarterback confident. If he complete, let's see him. It's like basketball. When you see a shooter struggling, what do they tell him to do? Keep shooting.
Hmm.
When you see that first one go in, you feel confident. Oh, it's 2 in a row, 3 in a row. Okay, I'm feeling it.
Hmm.
I don't throw a screen.
Yep.
Well, Bubba's tight end screen, fullback screen. Get him in a rhythm to where he like you both of you guys said, he gets confidence. Oh, now here comes the play action. The bootleg right. He's throwing it to a quarterback 5, 10 yards. Get him in a rhythm. I think he has a great amount of talent. I hate hearing, and I think it's in his head now because he's talking about feeling like a robot, being robotic.
Hmm.
That's now you're in your head, and like you
Hmm.
said, that could be not having the backing or the right coach or offensive coordinator or quarterback coach in his ear. I mean, you've seen Hard Knocks, and Aaron Rodgers is a different kind of cat, but this is an example of the relationship he had with his quarterback coach, his offensive coordinator. They had a relationship. They're smiling and joking. They're loose. They're feeling good. I hope that's the case there. I hope there's something they can do say to right this ship in Chicago's. I like DJ Moore. They went and got him to help him out. Chase Claypool need to shut up and just catch the ball. I
Oh
don't want
my
to hear about
God,
being in
this
the top
dude.
five, being a dog, doing this. Show us. You stunk it up week one. You had 3 catches for 36 yards and a touchdown. Finally got a touchdown. Come on, man. Help your quarterback out.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that maybe it's just time for them to part ways. Organization, the Bears are one of them organizations who just don't seem like they support players. Something like I feel like that about the Cardinals. I feel like that about I mean the Texans. They try. I think Texas is getting their own way. The Houston
Yeah.
Texans. I just think they. But yeah, I feel bad for the guy because I hate hearing saying robotic. 'Cause that's not a sign like you're not having fun anymore. And then you hear his
Yeah.
next interview, he's at 180. So I think the organization said, "Hey, you can't talk about your coach like that." Now he
Yeah.
said, "Oh no, I love my coach. I love this. You guys are trying to divide us." No, you spoke for the heart, and now they got
Hmm.
on you. Now you had to. Now they're giving you a script. See, now that's in his head. Okay, well, I can't speak my
Now I
mind.
gotta watch what I say because if I say the
Yeah.
wrong thing, yeah,
So their game's gonna be interesting this Sunday. So yeah, even though he's an Ohio State guy, I hate to hear guys not sound like he's having fun.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna jump right into our predictions, man. Week 3, we got a couple. We do 6 games. It wasn't a lot of good games on the slate, so I picked some of the interesting ones. We got the 1-1 Bills at the Commanders. We just talked about the Commanders. I like the Bills. I like how they look week 2 as opposed to week 1. We saw a completely different Josh Allen week 2,
hmm,
and I think that's the confidence boost he needed to not look like he's stinking the joint up. So I like the Bills in this game.
Yeah. Me too. Bills. Like you said, Josh Allen has finally arrived this season. We saw that last week. I think it continues this coming week with the against the Commanders. So I feel like the Bills are win this game easy.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna hit you with I agree because week one it was more of that cockiness. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Josh Allen, that was him. That he lost that game. He said it.
He
He
did.
put it on. Yeah, because he was doing too much and he knew it. So he
Yeah.
lost them that game last week. Yeah, he was like, no, let me calm down. Let me get it back. I think he about to start getting that Josh Allen train rolling. And I think we're gonna be good to go. That's a dub for the Bills.
All right. Right on over to somebody has to win. The 0-2 Chargers at the 0-2 Vikings. Uh Chargers it goes back to what was neutral again. He's not a not a believer in Justin Herbert. I don't know, man. You can't blame it
I,
all on him, but
I
defense
can't
has
see
to
how
take
they gave him the
accountability.
biggest contract in the dang NFL right now. Like, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
What do you have to? You have to pay your. He's not a bad quarterback. He just don't
He's
win big
not,
games.
but
He just
Yeah.
don't win. It's like if not him, then who?
They said one of the local guys, 97.1. He said, you know who I'm talking about. He said, he ain't nothing but Stafford. Before Stafford won, that's who
Hey,
he is. He got potential. He gonna put numbers up. He gonna sit here and do everything enough to be like he's right there. Everybody's gonna love him. You know what I'm saying? Because the pundits love this guy. They love him.
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. He's the second coming in their eyes. Pause. But I look at it as the Chargers taking is the um Kirk Kirk is Kirk. He's gonna lose the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Kirk is
I'm
Kirk,
going.
man.
I'm going.
Man, this gonna be a tough one, honestly. Minnesota at home.
Yeah,
Hmm. I'm gonna go with the Chargers as well, man. I think it's gonna come down to who has the better quarterback. And I think Justin Herbert is a little slightly better than Kirk Cousins right now. I feel like the Chargers will win this game. I think it'll come down to like a field goal or something like that, like 23-20 or something like that, 17-14, something like that. But I'll take the Chargers in this one.
yeah. I'm going Chargers as well, but I also want to say that I think that the Vikings may have jumped the gun by not bringing back Cook. In my opinion,
I agree with you on that.
I didn't.
Yep.
I didn't understand. I understand you don't want to pay big money for a guy you don't think he's serviceable anymore, but I mean, Madison 6 carries for 28 yards, and then you had Ty Chandler 1 carry. You only had 9 rushes in a whole football game from a team who predicates himself on being a running team.
Yeah,
You brought
Hence
this
why
guy
I said
Madison.
Kirk Cousins gonna lose it. He's gonna
Yeah,
lose
I mean
it
you
because
can't.
they're not.
You
Mm-mm.
got Kirk throwing 44 passes. And you lose a tough one to the Eagles, but hey, you got to. And then I think we all believe you had to establish some kind of running game, or at least give a threat to be a running team
Mhm.
to
that's
keep defense honest.
and they know that too. That's why they went and traded for Cam Akers.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like you traded for Cam Akers, but you had Dalvin Cook in your pocket. Like,
yeah, yeah. Who's I think still right now is better than Cam Akers.
Mhm.
But now you dug yourself in that hole, and I'm pretty sure Dalvin Cook would have loved to come back, but you took him off to all the stuff this summer. Thought we don't need you. Okay, now you're trading for now you're giving up picks for a guy, just to fill that void.
yeah,
So move on to a surprisingly 2-0 Buccaneers hosting the 2-0 Eagles. Hey man, shout out to Baker Mayfield.
He a
And I
baller,
told
man.
Mark,
He
I
a
told
baller.
Mark, I told Mark, go ahead and start it. He threw 1 touchdown, but he didn't throw no picks. Threw about 300 something yards. He's throwing the ball to Mike Evans, which I don't understand why not. Give that man the ball. He's not a speedster, but he can get you some yards after the catch because he's just that strong and he's just that good. So shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. I think after time, like, people, what do we do at the time? Well, here's Baker. Here we go.
hey, just imagine though, like this would be this is definitely a statement game for Baker.
Yep.
This is a way for him
You're
to
right
be
back, y'all.
like,
Yep.
hey, y'all was talking down on me, and look what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
I
We
see
beat
you
the
back.
Eagles, but unfortunately, it's not gonna happen. I think the Eagles win this game. I think Baker comes down to reality just a little bit. I think the Eagles win this game, man. I think the Eagles go.
Yeah, I'm still taking the Eagles, but I think it'd be a fun game to watch, man. I mean,
Oh
he
yeah,
he 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 looked good. I mean, not to lie, he was exciting. He was the team was rallying around him, which you don't, I mean, I think it's a confidence booster he need. I mean,
We had that conversation last year. I was in your in your
he's
in
just
your in your text. Oh, what up, Lisa? But I was in a chat and you guys were on, and I said, man, Maker can make some plays. I mean, Baker can make some plays. And I think this is the Baker that I was talking about last year. He's not
mm,
going to sit here and throw for 500, 600 yards and be elite, but he's going to ball for you. He's going to get you some wins. He gonna do a couple crazy things too, like run without without sliding. He gonna take a couple 2 yards of a hit. But I think he's a baller. I think that he gonna get you some games. He gonna put up. He gonna do enough. But I'm going Eagles. Going Eagles. I
Yeah.
don't think. I think this is like you said. He's gonna come back down. Eagles gonna fly high. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I'm rolling with the Eagles too. We're gonna go to that to the 2-0 Saints at the 1-1 Packers.
Mm.
Um, hey man, Derek Carr, believe in Derek Carr. They say, um, he got this team looking good. I mean, good is one. I don't know. I don't know what to say about the Saints. They're 2-0. I think that's all we can say. Um, but I'm gonna take the. I don't know if you call it upset. I'm gonna take the Packers at home. I'm gonna take Jordan Love at home.
Yeah. Same with me. And it's funny you say that. Don't get me wrong, the Saints 2-0, but they
Yeah,
haven't really done anything to wow me. If I'm not mistaken, I think all the games they won so far, they've been like really close. I
one by
haven't really
three,
just
one by
seen
one.
anything that just like stood out. I mean, Derek Carr is Derek Carr. I mean, he got the two dubs, but I mean, it's nothing to be wild about. But I love what I'm seeing out of Jordan Love, man. The fact that
Oh yeah,
he's been sitting
yeah.
on the bench for so long, and then when Aaron Rodgers left, a lot of people was doubting Jordan Love, and he just came in and and he's been productive so far. So I think he's gonna keep going. They lost last week in the close game to Atlanta, but I think they bounced back against the Saints.
Yeah,
Give me the
that
Packers.
was a mess. That was just a slip in their progression. I think the Packers are gonna go ahead and get the dub as well. Um, big ups to Mr. Carr. They threw him out of Oakland, out of LA. I'm sorry. Um, I think he's gonna make some plays, especially when he start using Chris a little bit more. He likes
Yeah,
Seed. He likes that receiver a lot. He has a lot of speed. They line him up everywhere, and I understand that, but man, Chris be open. So at this point, I think they're gonna go ahead and take that L for this week. I'm gonna give it to the Packers, and then they're gonna get it together. And the Saints gonna be something to watch though. Their defense is nasty. Their
yeah,
defense is aggressive and nasty. So it's something to watch out for. Once he get it all the way together, and Jamal Williams is out now, for a couple weeks too. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Packers.
And I think Watkins comes back for the Packers this week. He was going the first 2 weeks too, so which will help Jordan Love out. I mean, he didn't throw. He had 3 touchdowns, but he threw for 151 yards. I mean, a lot of safe passes, but safe passes because that defense in Atlanta is good. So
Mm.
we'll see how they go against these Saints. We got two more real quick. Of course, our hometown teams. We'll start off with speaking of the Falcons. The Falcons come to Detroit. Um, sheesh. A good defense in the Falcons versus a good offense with the Lions. We can't afford go 1-2. We can, but I don't. We don't need it. I think this game they may bounce back and take this victory. They should have lost last week. And I think that eats in them. Uh, but losing CJ, losing our top dog on
Tracy
defense.
Walker is fine. Tracy should have been playing more. Like they've been actually to me, the fact that they didn't put Tracy in there a little bit more in it like for a three safety package. I think they were. That's what I was talking about coaching because you have a third good safety, but you rather put Will whatever the hell his name is. Everybody wants some fire. You know what I'm talking about. What's his
Yeah,
name?
yeah.
Yeah, that cornerback, nickelback, and slash safety, Will Harris. There it is.
Yeah.
And it's just
I'm not
like
a fan of Will.
you're playing him over Tracy Walker. Before he was hurt, Tracy Walker was a serviceable, good safety. Period. That's the only thing you can get. So I think we'll do fine. I think we're going to sit here and cause some problems with Mr. Desmond. The problem is, can our linebackers hold up against Kyle? That's going to be the
Um,
biggest mismatch. Bijan, that's how you say his name? Bijan?
yeah, yeah.
Bijan.
Bijan. Like Bijan, right? Okay, yeah. Bijan Robinson, he's gonna get his yards. All right. He's gonna get a couple yards. Our run defense is number 10 in the league right now.
Mhm.
With Darren Barr, he's leading the way. 85 grade on PFF. overall for
Mhm.
the season for run defense. He's been amazing. The only issue is the only advantage, in my opinion, is going to be Kyle Pitts on our linebacker. And
Yeah.
Alex Zaloni, I'm sorry, I do not like
Mhm.
this guy. I don't know why he has this contract. He's going to get burnt.
What- Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry, real quick, Trill. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have we not seen enough of Rodrigo? Was that just a one hit season kind of thing? I thought he was. I still think he's a good serviceable, faster than Asmoney. I don't think he could cover,
So
but
that's the problem. So you ask your personnel to do things they're not comfortable with doing. So
okay.
you have a downhill linebacker. That's what Rodrigo is good for. He can sit here and cover downhill, anything in front of him, right? But you asking him to move laterally, cover a tight end or pick up a receiver going across the middle. No, that's a touchdown, and that's what it was. It was a touchdown because he
Okay.
can't do that. Yes, he has
Yeah.
good speed, but everything is here for him. Everything is
Why
here.
can't we find those linebackers? We always get these one-dimensional linebackers. What was that linebacker we took early a couple years ago from Florida?
Ernie
Gerard Davis.
Sims. Oh,
No,
Rod Davis. Yeah, I went
yeah,
way back.
two
But yeah,
strictly
a missile.
one-dimensional.
Yeah,
Yeah, when
a
you go
missile.
on one way,
They,
it tells how to cover
yeah,
somebody.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. They on Madden it's funny because he had the speed on Madden. Instead of having him a middle linebacker where they wanted him, I'll always have him rush. And then later on in his career, what did he do? He became a rush linebacker because that was what he was better doing. You literally had a linebacker who did not know how to do pass coverage, but you was
Yeah,
like, you got to cover the middle.
yeah.
So
You
now
learn
we
that
got Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell, 6'5", what, 245, running good 4.65. Okay, cool. That's not good enough speed anymore. I'm sorry.
not for a linebacker these
So
days. Not
not for a
anymore.
linebacker, no, not anymore. Troy Anderson, the guy that they got in the middle, I think he ran a 4.38, and he's 6'4", 235 pounds for Atlanta.
Yeah, we need to
That's
find
one of
us
they,
a
huh?
Michael Parsons. No, we need to find a Parsons type guy. We can't never
That's what I'm
find a.
saying. Like they
Oh, we
took
Yeah,
need.
look.
they too safe. They too
They
safe.
do. They pick the
Yeah,
safe guys. That's.
yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna take the Lions to bounce back this game. I think we can get to
Same here.
Ritter
Yep.
enough to do some damage. Hopefully.
Hey fellas, I have to get back to work,
Oh no,
so
yeah, go ahead,
let me
man.
get on
Hey,
out of here.
appreciate you coming in, man.
For sure, man. It was fun. This was a good time.
Oh yeah, we
Listen,
have you back.
Wednesday, if you ever need somebody, let me know. I always have my laptop in here, and I got an hour break, and it fits perfectly from 8 to 9 is my hour. So,
Got you. Keep you in
all right,
mind. Appreciate it, buddy.
peace,
All
y'all.
right, Joe.
All right. Well, you said who did you say? Did you say who you had on this one?
Oh man, it's gonna be tough for me. I'm gonna go Atlanta.
Hmm.
Um, I think Atlanta's gonna ride B. John Robinson pretty tough or pretty hard this season or this game. I think he'll have a over 100 yards rushing. I think, of course, he's gonna catch some passes out the backfield.
That's
I think y'all may struggle against him.
that's one word.
Um, I feel like it's gonna be a close one, but I give me Atlanta. Give me Atlanta.
I'm worried about him catching the ball out the field. Like Joe said, man, our linebackers are one dimensional. We can stop the run. We can do
Yeah,
that. But I mean, it's just we just have a history of not having those guys who and it's tough to find those guys anyway. But to
yeah,
cover a running back out the backfield, I can remember I brought up Davis again. The last time we was in the playoffs, we played against Shaw, and I remember Zeke catching the ball out the backfield. Davis just had his hands up, trying to just trying to stop him. But yeah, I mean that's one word. If they start throwing the ball outside our front seven, would be in trouble. Hopefully, keep everything on the inside
yeah.
and contain Kyle Pitts, who's slowly but surely becoming that top tight end that we all knew he was going to be. Last but not least, I mean, Cowboys.
Preseason game.
Yeah, yeah. Cardinals. I mean, they're still trying to find themselves. They brought Joshua Dobbs in. When you bring a guy off the street, not on the street. Well, he was off the street. Off the street,
Yeah,
he comes. He starts for you. You're in trouble. In trouble. I don't care who you are. He has no repetition with the team, and nothing you can do between week 2 and 3, make him better than he was in week 2. He's going to struggle again. A hungry front seven, number 11, looking at you. Just like Ray Lewis, just look at people right across, like he's coming. There's nothing you can do about it. He's going to meet you in that backfield. Uh, Cowboys win. If they don't take the foot off the gas, they probably win 25 plus easily.
So, how many points the defenses gave up this year? Total 10, right?
Well, your defense?
Oh, yeah, our defense.
I mean, y'all play Giants week 1. They didn't score, right?
Right, and then we gave up 10 points to the Jets.
Yeah.
After week 3, they'll have 13 points that they've given up.
Yeah.
So I'll get the Cardinals 3 points this game. They will kick a field goal. They'll have a game, or they'll have a drive where they kind of look somewhat decent, or it might be like a bad penalty on us or something like that, and they'll be just in range to kick a field goal. But I see us winning the game like 28-3, 35-3, something like that.
I want to see something. Okay, well, I mean, the Cardinals. Okay, I'm about to say, can they score? They scored 28 against the Giants, and you guys whooped them. So, yeah. So yeah, I mean, last night Sunday night game or Monday night game, we had to sit and suffer. You guys get them out of the way early. But shoot, man, that's it, man. That's our show for the evening, man. Appreciate you, Trill, as usual. The other guys should be back next week. Like I said, we still got a lot of things tomorrow moving. We still got things to do with our kids, schools in full effect. So, hey, man, we're trying to do the best we can. We're gonna keep bringing.
Trying.
We definitely want to make sure we get here, give y'all our NFL things. That's what we love the most, the NFL. So, we're back next Wednesday. We'll be back.
Wednesday, okay.
Wednesday. So man, appreciate everybody jumped in. Zoe, appreciate you stopping in, helping out. Everybody in the comment section. Anybody want to shout out before we jump off?
Oh man, shout out Coach Prom in Colorado, man. Ready to see what they're gonna do against Oregon, man.
Yeah. Actually,
to the boys, man. That's gonna be a good game, man. It's gonna be tough, but man, I'm looking forward to it.
Losing one of your best defenders is gonna be tough, man. Your best defenders is out. So yeah, so that's why I said it. I knew they played Oregon, then they got USC right after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those back to back big games. So
big game.
Yeah, I talked a lot about them early, but we definitely talk about them next week. I'm pretty sure win or lose, we're gonna talk about that game.
We're gonna be talking about them, yeah, for sure.
Saturday, tomorrow night is a late game too. Again,
yeah,
that's what I'm talking about too. Them games late.
2 late in the morning, man. Game. 2 in the morning.
Hey, prime time gets the prime time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, well, that'll do it for us, man. We out. Thank you, everybody.
All right, shout out, y'all. Y'all have a good one.